Sydney's first legal drug centre hasn't won over all its critics, but it still looks like it's here to stay. After a 9-year trial, the government is tabling legislation making the King's Cross injecting room a permanent fixture.
Every day behind this ordinary shopfront, 200 people legally inject drugs like heroin and amphetamines.
That's 200 plus incidents of drug use that aren't happening out there in the laneways and behind the skips.
9 years after opening, the New South Wales Premier has declared the trial a success.
It has reached out to people who would not otherwise access medical services, would not otherwise access drug treatment services.
The injecting room has prevented 3,500 overdoses, supervised more than 12,000 injecting drug users and helped more than 8,500 drug users into rehabilitation. For Tony Trimingham, whose son died from a heroin overdose just a kilometre away from the centre, it's the right decision.
People who took drugs back then, of course, they had no injecting centres, so they did it where people wouldn't see them.
Doctors working on the front line say the injecting room has made for a very different King's Cross.
There's no question it saved lives, and there's no question also that it's prevented a lot of non-fatal overdoses.
The centre is so busy that when it opened this morning, there was a line outside, and some supporters say there needs to be more places like it. But just like 9 years ago, the centre still has its opponents.
What we see behind me are unfortunate addicts who deal on the street and then use the injecting centre.
The government is due to introduce the legislation by October. Lieve Casbin, ABC News, Sydney.